Hey, how's everybody doing today? Okay, so I was going to do a little video. Before we start that, I did say I had the Winwing F-18 joystick and base coming in, or should I call it a grip. I was going to check it out, see how things felt with it, the quality of it, and okay, so let's get on with that part. The base, I like the shape of it. It's very nice, it's roomy. Versus the Virpil, they're both about the same size, same quality. I like the rubber boot, the bigger rubber boot, better than I do with the Virpil. Now, this isn't a comparison as far as I think one stick is a better option to have, or one base and joystick is a better option to have. It's just my general opinion on this. So let's get on to some other things here. So the quality of this is outstanding. It's smooth, very smooth. I'm going to say it's as good as the Virpil. Buttons are of the highest quality. So let's take a little listen to that real quick. Okay, so that gives you a general idea how everything sounds. So, like I said, you can't complain about the quality. It is top of the line. It's as good as the Virpil all day long. What I did notice is that Virpil's insides, all of their material in there, that their metal parts and everything is, you can tell it's machined. It's probably high grade stainless steel, I would think. The cams, springs, stuff like that. Laser cut, cleaned up to the point where it's just flawless. What I did notice, and I will show you with this, and as far as, like I said, both sticks will last a lifetime if you take care of them. I did notice that the cams and some of the parts in the Winwing, maybe because their production is higher, not sure why, but it looks more like it's been cast. Basically, it was made in a cast. So I already took most of the screws out. Let's just real quick open it up and I'll show you what I'm looking at. I am gonna get some higher tension springs. I'm gonna bring these to the shop and measure them up and get something that's a little bit thicker. Always make sure you turn the power off and then unplug this from there, from the base before you do any of this. So, you can tell this is really machined out. It almost looks like you could put more cams on it. You could have 4 cams and 4 springs. I was thinking, no, would it hit over here? If not, that would be a good way of doubling up the strength by ordering another kit, which I think is a little disappointing that they sent nothing, no extra springs. That's one thing I got to take away from Winwing. Virpil sends some extra stuff. They have high quality. I'm sure their stuff costs just as much, if not more, to make. So I think maybe some cams and some springs could have came with it. Just my opinion. But you can see that their cams, they're cast. They're not. You can tell they are not cut out and handcrafted the same as the Virpil. And they also have the number of the cam punched in there. But this is pretty much irrelevant. Like I said, it's still going to last a lifetime and it still feels just as good. It's just that their craftsmanship with the Virpil, I think, is probably a little bit better. What can I say? But I'm still keeping this. Regardless, I'm keeping the Virpil as well. These are probably the lightest springs, or maybe the middle ones, but they are far from heavy. It just moves a little bit. You can see I'll put it back in. It's just a little bit looser than what I prefer. I know some people like it like that. My buddy that I fly with all the time, he loves it loose like this. He doesn't want a tighter one. Now with the Virpil, I've got a lot more, probably double the tension, and it's just the way I prefer it. That's all preference. So now that we've had a little look at it and a little bit of a comparison, I'm going to give both products a 10. I mean, each one has its own qualifying reasons to own. With the Virpil, it has the constellations. I wish Virpil would make their own, instead of relying on Thrustmaster. I wish Virpil would make their own F-60 and F-18 grip to go on their base. Unfortunately, they don't. I guess why bother when you can, use the Thrustmaster one in the future. I really think for them, it would be well worth it. It would put a big hurting probably on Thrustmaster because I'm sure the quality of it would be equal to this. Something with a heavier base that fits. Like there ain't no shaking here. This whole this whole grip is in. All right, so enough of that. I'm going to put all this back together again and probably throw up a map and do a little bit of flying. I'll put the camera down on, I'm pretty much all Winwing at this point. Too bad they don't make a mouse and a keyboard. I mean, what's next? I do know they're working on rudder pedals. That'll be something in the future they're going to be coming out with, and probably some other things. But right now, I know their PTO2 panel is their newest product, part of their product line. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope somebody got something out of this, a little bit of information, a little bit of input that I have. Don't forget to give me a like and a sub if you're new to the channel. It really does help. Appreciate it. And we'll see you in the air.